So over the years, we tried different models of trying to make an impact on the country. Those who connected with me on LinkedIn will find in my profile, there's about 10 or 12 items. And among them, a project called For a Better Iraq, involving a program with 35 projects, ranging from anything from anti-corruption to fixing the ration card system to even giving soft skills to government employees. So we had a history of trying to make a difference. None of it worked, and eventually I discovered the reason. It's called government. So from there on, I started to work outside government, and so it's business to business, business to consumer, rather than it's the only thing that we believe will fly at the moment. Just before starting, we showed a video about 3D. This is just about one of the things that we managed to bring to reality, because it didn't involve any outsiders, just us doing the initiative. Crowdsourcing is a theme which will come again and again in this talk. I'm getting on. I haven't got that many years left in me to be productive, so I'm in a hurry to leave a legacy. And I wanted to focus. I've been all over the place, thinking all kinds of solutions, and in the end I thought, hey, this is the time to focus on one thing. Let's come up with, solve one problem, and leave your name on that. And this is what made me then discover maybe that youth unemployment is the root cause of many of the problems that the country has. And if we were to solve it through entrepreneurship, then we have the double benefit of an entrepreneur will solve a problem in order to create value. So therefore we are solving problems, Iraqi problems, as well as getting somebody off the unemployment queue, as it were. Unemployment being now running at, the latest report was, I think, in Kindi's, somebody talked about 57%. I quote 60% in most of my communications. I know of an American professor of economics who's written a book called The Political Economy of Iraq. He's a guy who knows the numbers. He says 80%, the unemployment rate at the moment. So we've got a big problem. So I think I'm lucky I'm hitting on the biggest problem. As I said, we're solving Iraqi problems, we establish startups, through it we create new work opportunities, and then we revive the private sector. There's a lot to be said about the Iraqi private sector. It doesn't exist now. I can tell you what exists for a private sector, and I see it every day there. If you go in Arasat, India area, go on any side street, you find lots of current Iraqi companies leading the Iraqi economy. They usually are made up of a guy, a good-looking girl, and an Indian to make tea. They do in a day what I need maybe 2 years to do as a revenue. So it's buying and selling contracts, etc. The country is engulfed. The Iraqis put all of their talent in corruption. So the result is something really unique, really Iraqi, and it's beyond your imagination. We've become so good at it. We can squeeze more money out of $1 several times. So it's not just once. So what do we need to make entrepreneurship happen? We're talking about somebody who comes with an idea, and then we move on with him to make it reality and make it a startup company in the marketplace. We need several things in Iraq, and I'm going to give you examples on each one of these. Science and technology. A real example in Iraq, we grow tomatoes in Basra and Amara cities. I made up these numbers just to illustrate because I don't really know the exact numbers. But Iranian and Jordanian tomatoes sell in Iraqi retail shops 1,000 dinar a kilo. Okay? The Iraqi farmer says it costs me 1,200 to grow. I've got no chance. Go and put a ban on all the imports so I can sell it. Now, why is it costing him 1,200? It's because he's using Sumerian methods for growing the tomatoes. He's using Babylonian seeds in order to come up with and he's competing with people, the neighbors. They cut on to covered farms and plastic covers and dripping irrigation, etc. So they're using 40-year-old technology to beat us on price, basically. And so science and technology, use this example across everything else, agriculture, manufacture, everything else, even tourism in Iraq is behind the times. And to my simple mind, you don't try to catch up. If Dubai is here and we are there, and I want to do something or let's say Iran there, I'm trying to do something with the tomato. The point, we shouldn't try to catch up with it. We should find a way to go over them and turn the table. We start to export tomatoes. And this is what I bring with me as a business sense. This is the only way any businessman will tell it will make sense. So we need the latest technology and science, and let's say in tomato world, and we will come on later on to say what mechanism we use to using Mushtarak in order to come up with the latest design for tomato farming, for example. Funding, because thanks to corruption, everybody in Iraq is dying to get their money out of Iraq because it's mostly dirty money, and they prefer to invest it in cement in Dubai or in Najwa Road or in Amman, etc. This leaves us with a problem with entrepreneurs. A young graduate trying to do a project, he needs $1,000, $10,000, and there is nobody lending there because all the money gone out of Iraq. So that's an issue which we will come back later. But again, we're looking for money coming from outside for the projects as lending or as partnerships. Mentoring. I want to give you this is I'm not an expert on sociology or anything like that, but just an observation from mine. We Iraqis, especially, and you will understand this because you are the diaspora, the migration happened, all the migrations happened over several decades and several years. In the meantime, and I think anybody leaving, because I was part of the diaspora once, anybody who leaves Iraq at a given year, his standards, his moral fiber is frozen that moment he got onto the airplane and left. Okay? So he who got out in 1970, he's got the 1970 moral standards built into his DNA. Now, in the meantime, he's now there. The country's overall moral standards is declining all the time. So his standards are better than the one who left in the 90s. And it is less than the one who left in the 40s. And to me, this explains why the people who are most clinging to the country and trying, and really nationalistic and trying to do something for Iraq, are the Iraqi Jews. They were the first to leave the country. And you find that, I mean, here I am, a live example to you. My daughter doesn't speak Arabic. If you go to Manqala every Thursday night, where the Iraqi Jews congregate to have kebab night, all the children there are now on the 4th generation. They all speak like Iraqi. So I'm proving my point through this example. So one of the items that an entrepreneur needs is mentoring, because they're young, they're good for rushes of blood. He's doing a business, one wrong decision, and he could blow the whole business out. So we try our best to merge them or have a mentor, and this works in all communities who use entrepreneurship, even in Britain. They always advise you, if you're doing a startup, to find yourself a mentor to work with you. So in my case, I want the mentor to instill not just steady hand on how to make decision making, but also a little bit of injection of that whole moral standard he's got to maybe find his way into the product or the service that startup is trying to achieve. You also need a lot of will and drive. Now we've lost, government is not interested, they're too busy with other things. What's usually left in the country is a particular type of people who drive change. And let me give you an example. Back in 2014, Daesh went into Mosul, yeah? And everybody flew in all directions. Literally the city emptied out. Some ended up in refugee camps, some found another city to go live in it, some to another province, and some left Iraq. Now Daesh gone and they gone back. Who didn't come back to Mosul? The doctors didn't come back, the engineers didn't come back, the academics didn't come back. So who are these? These are the middle class of Mosul. So these societies are having to rebuild itself without a middle class, and we've got that's why there is a missing will and drive to because they're not there. My argument and what I'm trying to sell to you, the idea, is that you, the diaspora, especially through your communal associations and societies, and most of you are professionals, are our middle class. And Safinat Nuh, in a nutshell, is trying to get the middle class to help the young entrepreneur do a good project that will result in real new job opportunities. Okay, so that's really the whole philosophy behind what we do. How much time? 5 minutes? 10 minutes, okay. Okay, so I've just said all that. It is the first attempt to put together they call it a platform for entrepreneurship. The logo, in case you're wondering, an Iraqi living in California, 70-year-old artist, ex-IT engineer, who designed it for us, and I loved it. So I stuck with it. This used to be yellow because it's representing the sun. The circle is the sun. But the guy who did this website for us, another incredible Iraqi living in Amman, decided to make it orange for artistic necessity. So it's slightly changed from the original. We work across all of Iraq, from Zaho to Far. And we try to also help entrepreneurs in the diaspora as well. So anything Iraqi, that's where our focus is. And in a nutshell, an entrepreneurship hub or a platform aims at gathering youth who's got a new idea. Actually, our advertising, we advertise heavily for looking for the youth in Facebook, because that's where they congregate in Iraq. We tell them, even if you don't have an idea, just come along, because we can find you one. And then we surround the entrepreneur by this family of experts, advisors, mentors, investors. That's the theory. That everybody will do his piece to help him achieve a successful project. Okay. It is a role-based system. Individuals come in, obviously, entrepreneurs. We also want to look after the result of all of this, which is new jobs. So we encourage job seekers to also come and register and mingle with the job project owners, the guys who are the entrepreneurs. We have a class we call contributor, a class of one of the roles, and it embodies anything: a scientist, professional, engineers, academics, managers, company owners, all the types who are capable of advising a young starting up business. Mentor, we talked about. An investor, as I said, I'm hoping that people, and I'll show you something in a minute to prove the point. And we recently started to also look after inventors. I mean, this happened by chance. I didn't set out looking for inventors. I finished up with 100+ inventors on the website. They are looking for ways of helping them. So we added them, and we're thinking of what to do next. Then groups of people can come along. Obviously, entrepreneur teams, but also companies, NGOs, investment corporations, and there's something called incubator. An incubator is a collection of people. They come in together and they offer themselves as advisors, consultants, even funders, if they wish to be, of a whole group of entrepreneurs going through that incubator. So, as that video about networking said, we are offering an ecosystem whereby different people, it's like a Swiss knife. Different people can take the roles they want to do. So you could come in as individuals, or you could come in as groups, or companies, or societies, let us say. A little bit more about incubators in the next slide. So we have a generic one, which means you accept anybody coming through whatever project they want to do. So you're just going to be a business type advice. There are one or two normal modeling business we do. Maybe Dr. Noor will know about business model canvas. This is the latest thing, which nearly 90% of entrepreneurs on earth are using it, and we're using it too. It's about 10-year-old system born out of California. We then have people who specialize, incubators specializing in people. So, for example, we have an incubator called For Her. We just accept women, entrepreneurs, and all the people a woman entrepreneur will come in contact with are women. We did it so that if there is an entrepreneur stuck at home with a father or a brother or whatever, giving it the same principle. كلية البنات was established a long time ago. The same idea. So you have women for women grouping. Specialized industries, so we have an agricultural or manufacturing incubators, etc. And then there is something we call a franchise line. Unfortunately, I'm going to postpone this because it really is a big message here for you through it. I will postpone it to the question and answer session. All of these incubator can work out collaborations via Mushtarak, and I'm here to have discussions with Dr. Ali to get somewhere on how we're going to work this together. Here is a statistic about, this is taken at the end of last month, of where we are after about 14 months of operating Noah's Ark. You find this on the group we have on LinkedIn. We have a group on LinkedIn called Crowdsource, and it feeds into Noah's Ark. I've explained, I think, all of these roles already. And for those, I've been asked to also say, what's in it for you? All our services are free. We don't expect anybody to pay any money at all. However, if you notice the bottom statistic, I'm now at the sub 1,000 visitors a day. Once I get my dream going, we will reach 10,000. There is a final slide will show you the roadmap for Noah's Ark. We're planning bigger things to happen later on. And when that happens, hopefully we'll get up to 100,000 visitors a day, and then I'll become rich because I'll advertise. I'll use advertising. So we're not getting rich on anybody's expense. Okay, we, in addition to all of this we mentioned, we also are looking for ways to create whole new industries using the blue ocean thinking. We've got two projects running. One is river transportation. If you allow me, I will talk for just 2 minutes because this will be interesting. The biggest entrepreneurship project in Iraq right now is called Cyber. It's an Iranian manufactured car. All youth go out of university, they go and borrow from their friends, their neighbors, their relations. They borrow $7,000 and go run a taxi. Okay, this is number one in Iraq, and anybody in Iraq will tell you that. We borrowed from that, since there is this will to do this. We, through a very complicated way of thinking, we're going to produce a family of boats. This started with the problem with the marshes when they became UNESCO protected, and it developed the whole idea, mushroomed out of that. River transportation for agricultural products. So we're going to help. At the moment, what happens, the farmer sells his tomatoes to the merchant بالعلوة. The merchant will never give him his money, all of it. He will find a million excuses why he'll delay the payment. And then he will tell him, I discovered half of it was bad, rotten anyway, so I'm not going to give you half the money. So this is another reason why the farmers stop farming. It pays much better for their children to be in a militia or in the army or in the police force. So therefore, we wanted to do this family of boats. It's a cross between, it's a new Iraqi thinking. It's a cross between the American airboat, the one that has a big fan pushing it, yeah? English narrowboat, which was the main method of transportation back at the Industrial Revolution days. And because I studied manufacture, I know all the details about those boats and how they were used. And we discovered that we have in Iraq 20,000 kilometers of rivers. So we actually already have the network. We don't need to spend money creating water networks. We already have them. 20,000 boats made in Iraq, very high standard, using even the method of propeller is an Iraqi invention. It's a silent operation, doesn't make noise. It can get up to 60 kilometers an hour. We can shift the tomatoes from Basra to Mosul in under 24 hours. If you try to do it by road network right now, it will take you a week. And the end result, because of all the corruption at all the checkpoints, you have to pay a lot more on the getting the trailers through. So we're trying to create a truly new business, a new industry. Everything happens in water. And the project is much more complete. It has IT. The farmer will advertise on his app how much tomato he has, and there is an eBay-like auction that will follow by those boys who own the boats. They're all buying individually one boat each, and they will bid for them, and then once they bid for them, they either sell them to Alwa or to merchant, or sell them back, or sell on the road, on the river. They will go up the river, and there is other applications that would get other groups of people buying off them and distributing locally. Really clever idea, not a pie in the sky. Our prototype has been made. The first one, it's built in Basra by Iraq's only fab lab, fabrication lab, a group called the Science Camp, if you heard of them. And we're going to touch boat to get into the water in about 10 days' time. We made this not as a cargo carrying boat, deliberately put seats in it, mastabat, benches, because we want to invite all the officials, particularly consuls of America, Germany, Holland, Britain, to come and have a ride across Shat al-Arab in it. It will be the first time in Iraq they see an airport anyway. So we're down the road with this one. The next one is pie in the sky so far. 3D printing, because we know a little bit about 3D printing. 3D printing buildings is the next thing. And teams of graduates, they don't all have to be entrepreneurs. Teams of graduates will form a construction company. Roughly 10 people, and they will hand over a house, finished house, every 15 days. And if we do this in Mosul, for all housing units, it will be about half the cost, 10 times the speed, all other conventional methods doing it. China is the number one in 3D buildings. We're trying to create a project with them to hopefully get a piece of Mosul. But my dream is that we pioneer this technology. China, all they can show at the moment on YouTube is a single house being built quickly. We want to give them a whole city and become the world experts in rebuilding destroyed cities. And mashallah, there is plenty of wars and there's plenty of natural disasters, so we can keep forever always it's better to take advantage of the difficulty itself. So this will be another way. Where are we going for the future with the Ark? We're working on physical incubators. If you remember, we saw on the statistics, we have 54 incubators right now. 35 of them, one belong to each university owned by the Ministry of Higher Education. We opened these incubators not because we wanted to, we were asked by the ministry to open. So there is an interest at university level and government level even to do something for graduates. There's no more jobs, so everybody's now interested in this, the kind of stuff we do. So we talk about physical incubator in each university, serving the community it's in, of graduates By the way, the reason we focus on graduates because they can read and write. It's easier to do high-tech stuff with them because at least they are literate. Okay. And there is a statistic which would be interesting to you. In 1999, we had 1 million children enter the primary school. In 2017, those who succeeded every year took their final baccalaureate in 2017. How many took the 2017 baccalaureate? 400,000. We lost along the way 60% of, I see the demographic, there will be less and less, even though we're building more and more universities, there will be less and less graduates, numbers of graduates for the future. We're becoming dumbed down society, we're becoming illiterate society. Crowdfunding, there's a big story there. Again, I'll postpone this to, I need help with this idea to loan money to, small money, $5. You buy a ticket, $3 will go to helping a project, $2 will go to make you a UK lotto type draw, so you can become a millionaire. Commercializing inventions, like I mentioned that, we're trying to come up with some books. Voluntary movement is a big thing in Iraq now. A lot of, because they've got no work to do. Youth are getting together and they're doing all kinds of good social entrepreneurship kind of projects. If we can get crowdfunding going, we intend to add it to the Noah's Ark to get money across to groups of people, teams of youth doing something good in their community. Communities. Now that we've got into this idea of diaspora helping people inside, the next thing we thought we'll do is do like with like. So teachers in the diaspora talk to teachers inside, doctors with doctors, footballers with footballers, musicians with musicians. Thousands of these societies can spring up. To give them an idea what is happening around you, you can give them the way forward. They will tell you their problems, you can help them find solutions. And the beautiful thing is, across in the same website, there is people trying to do projects. So the communities discover a problem, they find a solution for it, over to the entrepreneurs to turn it into a useful of course, it wouldn't be through a good website unless it helped all of these companies, and we're thinking tens of thousands of startups. To help them along, we do electronic trading under the banner Made in Iraq. We actually will help even government-owned companies doing, because there's a lot of production they are unable to get rid of. Exporting through you guys. Again, a benefit, a two-way benefit for the diaspora. Once we've got that, I'm hoping we've got to maybe 50,000 visitors a day. If I now finish it off to make it what I really dream of, which is Iraq.com, then we just need that's left is the content. Poetry, music, books, all the stuff. If we can bring it also on board, we then have the complete thing. We have a whole society generating jobs, generating good things for the communities inside Iraq, and hopefully for the communities outside of Iraq too. I think so. These are the things you can help us with. Crowdfunding, as I said, I'll come back to it. Training for graduates, they really are coming out of universities in Iraq with the knowledge of the 1960s. You've got parole in whatever your speciality to help, and a lot of people doing it. I just came back, I flew yesterday from Baghdad, and today, this morning, There was a presentation at University of Baghdad, which I helped set up. A guy from Mor Khafaji, I think we didn't know about, 35-year-old Iraqi entrepreneur living in Chicago. He created 5 or 6 companies and sold them. He's in the footsteps of Bill Gates. He's moving that way. He's doing education for the sake of educating. He's telling them where his lecture was, where are the edges of knowledge in IT. He's talking about artificial intelligence and where they can find projects for Iraqi graduates where they can hit on something useful elsewhere. So again, that's franchises we haven't spoken about, again, it's a postponed thing. Specialized incubators, like I said, pick a subject and have an incubator dedicated to it. Super projects, I mentioned a couple of them. Let's have more. This is what we, with our limited thinking, wanted to come up with. You guys combined can come up with much bigger or more numbers of super projects. Again, blue ocean strategy type thing. Communities, actually nothing stopping you starting these up here and now on Noah's Ark. And please register if you own a company, if you are part of a society, an NGO, or as an individual, just register yourself with us on Noah's Ark to get the ball rolling to helping. This is something borrowed from Britain. Thank you.
Thank you, Aziz. So, for the benefit of the colleagues who recently joined us,